Hey, what's up guys? It's Toxic here, and welcome back to the Roblox trading series. As you can see, today we actually have 166k wrap almost, which is quite a lot of wrap. And also, I have 20 trades inbound for us to take a look at, but we're gonna get to that after we look at our completed trades. And the last completed trade we had was with Invzo, or Onzo, whatever the name is. We gave Classic Fedora for Dog Whisperer. At the time it was an equal 1v1, both dropped to 48. And actually, I think they both still are 48, so they're still about even still. And that was pretty much the last trade we had in the last video. But we completed a few more after that, and the next one was with Euro Queen. So you can see we gave Dog Whisperer for Mr. Bubbles. And, okay, this is an interesting trade, right? Because I said this trade just completely just messing around. And then when I tried to do a trade back, if we look at my inactive trades, it's a little bit far down because, yeah, there are a lot of trades that I declined. But if we go all the way down and we find the trade, you can see right here, I actually tried to trade it back because I just sent this as a joke, and he refused to accept this trade. Now, basically, Dog Whisperer is 48k. It was 50k at the time, right? And it is pretty high demand, and it gets some decent overpays. And Mr. Bubbles is a pretty low demand item that's worth 65k. I said this just because I wanted to see what would happen, considering, you know, Dog Whisperer is a pretty good item, and this isn't such a good item. But yeah, the fact that I send like 70 of these trades to just random people probably explains why I have over 3,500 inactive trades, but only 200 completed. That probably explains a lot. But yeah, as you can see in this trade, if I could go all the way back down, where was it? Yeah, I tried to do this trade back, and I actually messaged this person on Discord, and he told me that not to do this trade back, he's not going to accept, and yeah, so that's pretty much that. But anyway, moving on to the next trade with 4DP. We gave Radioactive Beast Mode for Azure Pinstripe Fedora. Both items are 12k. Sure, I lost a little bit of demand going from Radioactive Beast Mode to Azure Pinstripe Fedora, but I think it was worth it, and here's why. Azure Pinstripe Fedora is a much more stable item than Radioactive Beast Mode. Sure, it's it looks a little bit more jumpy than Radioactive Beast Mode. You can see here, it's a lot more smooth and everything, but if you take a look at it, and if you actually look at the values that Radioactive Beast Mode has had versus Azure Pinstripe, Radioactive Beast Mode constantly goes like up and down and up and down. And Azure Pinstripe is just a pretty constant 12. It's very stable. And I remember Radioactive Beast Mode a while ago was selling for like 7k, and the wrap was like close to 7k as well. And overall, I just think Azure Pinstripe is a much more stable item. Plus, it looks really, really cool. So I don't see why not. I kind of like Azure Pinstripe Fedora. It's a pretty cool item in my opinion. But the next trade I had was with Yordi to Ruri. And as you can see here, we basically just gave wrap for wrap. But then he asked for a trade back, so I did a trade back, and that was that. But then the next trade, and the last trade I've done, was with Lee Tricks. I gave Mr. Bubbles Death Metal Headphones and Black Iron Commando for Jacko Bandit, Super Happy Face, Playful Vampire, and Azurite Antlers. Something I want to point out, by the way, is that this is number 66, Super Happy Face. I know it's not something that matters to anybody, but number 66 is kind of cool. I think it's cool anyway. But if we were to take a look at the values of this trade, we gave 65, again, it's a low demand 65. 3 basically if you round this up, because you can see this is 1200, this is 27, almost 2800. They add up to be pretty much, you know, if you just move the 200 here to there, it'd be 3 in 1. So just 3 in 1. So basically, we gave 69 for 32, 22, 9, and 6. So basically, we got an equal downgrade into better demand items, and honestly, I'm happy with this trade. I have absolutely no complaints. Sure, you're supposed to like get according to some people anyway, you're supposed to get like an overpay when you downgrade, but I think this trade was definitely worth it for me because I gained a lot more demand. And sure, with that demand comes risks. Like, for example, Super Happy Face could drop right back down to 20k. I mean, it's selling below wrap quite a few times. I should probably, you know, get rid of it soon, but whatever. But yeah, also we have Jacko Bandit, which is a cool item as well. I like Jacko Bandit. It looks cool. But anyway, sorry about going off on a tangent, but those are all the completed trades we've had. And now we have 20 inbound trades to take a look at. The first one being from Guppy. you could see we were giving Al Capone and Mr. Bubbles, which we don't have anymore. So technically this trade doesn't really count for anything because I can't accept it. But let's take a look at it anyway, right? Because Al Capone is 140, Mr. Bubbles is 65, and we're getting 165, which is Pastel Rainbow Shaggy. Shameless Scimitar, which is 32, and Roblox Madness Face, which is 8. So basically another equal downgrade, upgrade. I don't know what you want to call it. We get 3 items, so technically it's a downgrade, but we get 1 really big item and a few smalls. So I don't know if it's considered an upgrade or downgrade. I guess it's still a downgrade because we're getting more items, but whatever. We can't accept this anyway, so I might as well just accept it because it'll get rejected. And then these are some of the trades that are left over from when we were going back and forth, because this is actually 64, and this is 64 plus like 175 Robux. Again, I can't really accept either of these now, but I'll just click accept now anyway. And then we have one from Dry Vanillite. I think Ultimate Pink Victory is 10 now, and this is basically 2 in smalls. So you can see that Azure Pinstripe still gets 12. It's very stable at 12. People are willing to give 12 for it. So there's that, but I don't think I want to do this trade, because hold on, let me see how Ultimate Pink Victory is doing. Strange, because I remember it being 12 before, like it had like 9k wrap and it was valued at 12k on Rollermons, but now it just seems like a very, I don't know, it seems like it's fine at 10 and it doesn't seem like it's gonna raise. So I'll leave this one inbound, but we'll look at it later. Another Mr. Bubbles trade, but I'll look at it anyway. This is 65, again low demand. 12, and then this is 55, this is 7 I think, and this is 6. So this is a 9k overpay on my end for a very bad item. The Periastron is not very good at all, at least in my opinion. If you take a look at it, it's not really a good item, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. But yeah, let's just accept it. It's gonna get rejected anyway. Like I said, all of these are getting rejected because again, I don't have the Mr. Bubbles anymore. So they're all going to be, you know, could not be completed. But anyway, let's take a look at the next one from Zero Lux. Again, I don't really want to downgrade to Azure Pinstripe. If anything, I want to kind of keep it or upgrade it. So I'm not really going to pay too much attention to these trades. But this should be like 6 and 6, I guess. So I don't know. These are constantly like, you know, close to 5, close to 6. I can't really tell. I'm going to be honest with you. But even if they are 6 and 6, it's basically, you know, 12 for 12. It's whatever. I'll keep it inbound anyway. Another trade for Mr. Bubbles, 65, 12, and then this is 38. I believe it was 40, but it's 38 now. And American Splendor is like 22. So a 17k overpay on my end. Even if you remove the Azure Pinstripe, I would not accept this trade. That is a terrible trade. This is equal, and this is actually the same thing, I believe. Yeah, I saw most of these trades from this point on. But yeah, like I said, this is pretty much equal. I'm going to keep one of these inbound, just in case this tanks or this goes up. But I don't think that's going to happen, and honestly, I kind of prefer Azure Pinstripe over Azurite King of the Night. But the next one we have is Lying Like I Care. We're overpaying pretty much 400 for Sinister branches. Not even worth it, in my opinion. I wouldn't do it. Next trade from Paprika Milk. I don't have Black Iron Commando anymore, plus I wouldn't do that. It is overpaying for a downgrade. I would not do that. Now, 65, the Mr. Bubbles, and we're getting 38, 40. I don't know. This is like somewhere it's in a strange area in between, honestly, Viscount of the Federation. I guess I'll say 38. Actually, I'll give it 40, whatever. And then this is 16. So either way, it's like a 9k OP or an 11k OP. Terrible trade. Just a terrible trade. And this is one of the most interesting trades I've had. And this is the one I wanted to keep inbound for this video. Even though I didn't do it, as you can see, I don't have Mr. Bubbles. I still think it's very worth looking at because Blue Steel Domino Crown, right? I actually had a Blue Steel Domino Crown inbound. I'm going to try to find it because we went back and forth. It's somewhere over here. I believe it was with, I'm trying to remember who the trade was with. Was it this person? No. I'm trying to remember. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I have another Blue Steel Domino Crown trade that I really want to show you guys. And I just found it. It's right here with Jaheim. Jaheim? I don't know how to pronounce that. But you can see, this is after I posted in Rollermons asking how bad Blue Steel Domino Crown is. This is a trade that I had inbound. This is 140, 65, 12, and then 3. So basically 220. and we're getting 190, and we're getting, I believe this is 38 now instead of 35. So it is an 8K low ball to me. I am gaining 8K from this trade. I could have accepted this trade, and honestly, I don't know if I'm going to regret not accepting this trade, but I just felt like Blue Steel Domino Crown, after what everyone was telling me anyway, it's not really the best item in the world. Plus, again, I kind of want to downgrade my Al Capone anyway. But yeah, Blue Steel Domino Crown isn't the hottest item out right now. I mean, I had it inbound for an 8K low ball. Honestly, I might regret not accepting that trade. Only time will tell. But anyway, this one was 140 and 65 for 190 and 10. So basically a 5K overpay on my end. But Mr. Bubbles, again, pretty low demand. If Blue Steel Domino Crown was a stable 190, I might have considered it. And then after that, I mean, if it was a good item, I definitely would have taken that 8K low ball to me. But yeah. Still though, Blue Steel Domino Crown, interesting item. I actually never owned Blue Steel Domino Crown. I'm going off on a tangent a little bit, but there's a lot of items I've owned on Roblox. This is not one of them. It was always like kind of out of my reach, or I just never came into the circumstances of owning one when it was a good item. Maybe one day I'll try to get this. Same thing with Prefectus. I actually never owned it aside from that one time, and then I did a trade back. So yeah. But anyway, next trade. I'm sorry, I'm going off on tangents all the time. But the next one is 32, 9, and 9. So a 15K low ball. This is pretty much like what? What is 32, 9, and 9 again? So this is 50K for Mr. Bubbles. I would not have considered this trade on Dog Whisperer, let alone Mr. Bubbles. And then my Sophie. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This my Sophie person sends me terrible trades. All of these, they're not even really worth looking at in a video. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'll do it anyway, just because I'm a kind person. I don't know why I do this to myself. But yeah, this is 58K, not worth it. I believe this is the same trade except a different item. Again, 58K, would not do it. Then this one is 32, 12, 6, and 6. So 56, would not accept. Then the next one is somewhat interesting as well. You can see we're getting Subarctic Commando. A pretty cool item. This one I've also never owned before. There's quite a few items that are in the bigger area that I haven't owned. But yeah, 140, 65 for 160, and I believe this is somewhere around like 40, something to that effect, maybe 35. So a 5 to 10K overpay on my end, really would not have considered, and I just kept it inbound to look at, honestly, because that's an interesting one to look at. But the next one is with Store Group Holder. Now, hold on, does this person own? This person owns both of those items. This might actually be worth, you know, accepting. Now, Yum. Okay, so basically the story behind this trade is this person privated their inventory before I could even accept this trade or really look at it. But now that their inventory is unprivate, you can see that they actually own the Yum and the Blizzaria in question. Let me see. Oh, the cereals don't match up. Oh, even if I did accept this, the cereals don't match up, so I wouldn't be able to do it. But Yum is 120 and Blizzaria is 20. So basically this is 140 for 140. Yum is definitely a lot higher demand than Al Capone, and Blizzaria is just Blizzaria, but it's a cool item nonetheless. But still, it's an interesting trade, and I've been intrigued by it. I definitely, you know, would have considered this, and I honestly, I would have accepted this, I think, if, you know, they had the items at the time. But again, privated inventory, when I clicked accept, it didn't even work. It said you are not authorized to alter this trade. But maybe I'll counter with something. Maybe I'll try to get rid of, like, you know, Jacobet. Maybe we'll just send something right now quickly in a video. So, as you can see, we're going to send them a quick trade. We have the calculator out and everything. We're gonna really do the trades that we did in Trade Hangout. Again, I'm sorry I'm not doing the Trade Hangout stuff. Kind of just wanted to take a break because that kind of been getting boring for me lately. It'll definitely be back shortly though, I promise you. Now this is not a good trade. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is terrible. I think this is still 24. For all I know, it could not be 24. But anyway, this is 32. This is 12. This is 20. I'm gonna value this at like 20, I guess. Is this 15? I can't read. Yeah, that's 15. Okay. And then 6. So they're still overpaying by 2. So I'll just throw in these items. Terrible trade, I know. But I wanted to send something as a counter just to see if they're going to send me a trade like this back. And honestly, I'm afraid that if I accept this, even though the cereals don't match up, it won't work. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Should I accept? I'm going to accept because I think it rejects. Yeah, it rejects because it doesn't have the same cereal. Thank God. I was scared that it might have accepted and it was like a bad trade. Like maybe Yum is dying and I don't know. But anyway, the last trade we have inbound. This one I've been holding literally just to show you guys in a video. Literally, I didn't accept this because I know Shattered Earth isn't the best item right now, because it was hoarded and then it got released, so it's not the best item. But it was 35. This was 40. I think it's 38 now. I think, again, this is 38 instead of 40. And this is like, I don't know, 28? I don't know. I don't remember. I think it was 28 because this was 143k at the time. Now it's 139, but this was a 3k overpay at the time. Again, now it's only 139, so 1k lowball. But still an interesting trade nonetheless with, you know, Viscount, an item that I've been meaning to get my hands on. It's a pretty cool item. Unfortunately, I've never just had the chance to, you know, get it or anything, but yeah, there's that. But anyway, that's pretty much it for today's video. I promise you guys, next video, I will go into Trade Hangout. I will try not to, I'll try to cut down on the inbounds because I know this is like a big segment of the video now. I'm definitely going to try to change that up for next video. And hopefully I'll have a lot more completed trades for you guys next video that don't involve just 15k overpays for no reason. I don't know what that was about, but anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.